We are coming to you from the city beautiful Chicago, Illinois, where tonight Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball as Jose Abreu, Melky, Cabrera, Avisail Garcia, as they get set to bump heads with Jason Kipnis, Michael Brantley, and the Cleveland Indians. Hi, everybody, and welcome. We're Steve Stone. I'm Ken Harrelson as we get set to bring you the finale of this four-game set. And it has been an unusual first three games. The game one, we won at 2-1, Chris Sale against Corey Kluber. That's one of the best pitch games you ever want to see. Then in the game two, we gave them 2 runs, and they beat us 3-1. Then last night, we gave them 2 more runs, and they beat us 4-3. So tonight, Johnny Danks has been pitching well.
Last 2 times out, he's been absolutely brilliant, especially the last time out against Oakland. Johnny Danks has altered his motion. He's changed his arm angle. He speeded up his delivery, and you see in 7 innings, he gave up only 3 hits. That's the Johnny Danks we know from a few years ago, and right now, he's in a great groove, and hopefully he carries over to tonight. The starting rotation the last 10 games has been brilliant. The ERA a tick over 3. The batting average against at .217, the quality starts 80% of the time they've had one of those, and strikeouts per game is good. So the starting rotation has done the job. Now if the offense comes along, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape.
Well, they have Jason Kipnis, they have Michael Brantley, but the guy that's been killing us is that little shortstop, Jose Ramirez.
In the pregame meetings, the one guy you didn't worry about was the guy that's done the most damage, and that's Jose Ramirez. He's 5 for 10 in this series. 3 driven in, 3 walks, 3 stolen bases. He's got a great feel for stealing bases when he gets on. He's gotten on a lot. He's raised his average 30 points in this series. So a guy who's noted for his defense is doing it offensively. Let's hold him down tonight.
All right, we're trying to get a split with these guys here in our own yard. So sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. Audi, truth in engineering. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. And by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back to beautiful U.S. Cellular Field, and spring has sprung here in Chicago after the coldness of the last few nights. It is 70 degrees at game time. Just an absolutely gorgeous day. Not a cloud in the sky for the fourth and final game of this series. The Indians have won 2 of the first 3. And the Sox looking for a split of the series behind Johnny Danks, who's been very good the last couple of times out. And John has altered his motion. He's done a lot of different things to increase his deceptiveness. It's worked very well as the Sox take the field, and we'll take a look at how Terry Francona is going to line up his Cleveland Indians for the game tonight. Jason Kipnis, the local area product, is leading it off. Carlos Santana back in the lineup for the first time in the series. He's hitting second. And it's Michael Brantley. Ryan Rayburn, who against Johnny Danks career-wise has absolutely torched him. Nick Swisher, the designated hitter with Mike Aviles. Jose Ramirez, who's had a great series. Roberto Perez back behind the plate. And Michael Bourne in center field and hitting 9th. The defense, and how they're going to line up behind Johnny Danks. Melky Cabrera in left field. Adam Eaton is in center, and Aviseo Garcia in right. It's Gordon Beckham getting the start at third base tonight with Alexi Ramirez at short. Emilio Bonifacio getting a rare start at second. Jose Abreu is at first base. Tyler Flowers gets a nod behind the plate. And our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Johnny Danks. And John, looking for his third win, his ERA, 4.66. He's had pretty good control. Left-handers have not done much with him, hitting just 174. He has allowed 6 home runs, however. As the Sox come into this one, 18-19, 6.5 games in back of Kansas City. Kansas City winners of 3 in a row heading into action today. And they're in first place in the Central. The umpires for the game this evening: Larry Vanover, the crew chief, is behind the plate. Ron Felpus at first. Brian Knight is at second. And Dale Scott is at third. Terry Francona saw his team get off to a very slow start this year. The pitching wasn't quite as good as he thought it was going to be, but it's getting good now. He's had a lot of injuries. We're seeing one of the injured back in the lineup in Carlos Santana. And Terry's had 8 consecutive seasons over 500. There you see the Indians as they're 9.5 games back as they start action tonight. And they've thrown the ball around the infield. And on this gorgeous night for baseball, we are ready to start this one. And I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. So happy you could join us for the finale of this 4-game set. We won the first one. Cleveland won the next 2. So here's Jason Kipnis. Comes in hitting at .329, 4 homers. He's driven in 17. He's 2 for 11 in this series. And the first pitch of the ball game is taken up high. Indians hitting at .251 as a club with a 4.32 ERA. A little chin music right there, and the count 2-0. And here at the ballpark, 330 down the left field line. 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straightaway center. And the count very quickly, 3-0. There's one. And there's a line drive into left center field. So Kipnis on his way to second base, and he'll get there with a leadoff double.
The more 2-0, 3-1 counts you're going to face, the more fastballs you're going to see, the better off you're going to be. And even a lefty-lefty matchup doesn't really matter if you're ahead in the count. And Kipnis is having a great year as he's entirely healthy. Has started it off in an ominous fashion as far as the Sox are concerned.
Here's Santana. Hitting at 220 for homers. He's driven in 20. Well, the more pitches you see, the more dangerous you become. And you don't have to see a whole bunch if you can be 2-0-3-1.
No. In fact, for most pitchers, you can pretty much predict their earned run average by how many 2-0-3-1 counts they have. You get in them, you have trouble. You stay out of them, you usually pitch pretty well.
Outfield straight up. There's a strike.
Here's career-wise against the Indians, and they've been pretty tough on Johnny. 5-12 with an ERA up over 5 this season. This is the third time he's going to face him, and he hasn't fared well.
Had him off balance right there, so Santana with a 1-2 count. Santana has faced Danks 30 times, has 6 hits.
That's a good straight change. Over the last couple of weeks, Johnny's thrown that straight change over 30% of the time, which is a high total.
And he's kept it down the last few times out.
That one just missed, and that was a good pitch. Now, Menard's pitch tracks will show you that this one is just barely off the corner. Tyler does a very nice job of easing it back over the inside corner, but couldn't convince Larry Vanover to call it.
That's inside for a full count. Payoff pitch. And that's ball 4. So the first 2 men aboard. And that'll bring up Brantley. 2 for 12 in the series, hitting at .331 on the season with 4 homers and 25 knocked in. Outfield slightly to the right. Eaton and Avi bunched. Big gap in left center. And that's down low.
With runners in scoring position, Michael Brantley has been among the best in baseball. You're up near 400. You're consistently getting the job done. Brantley is, along with Kipnis this year, one of the leaders of this team.
That's top foul. Now this tired. It's just hard to, toughest division in baseball. Hard to get off to a terrible start like they are and dig your way out. As that ball is in the dirt, so a wild pitch. And things are not looking real good right here. We could have a redo if y'all wanted it.
Third wild pitch of the year, as this looked like a cutter that he just steered into the dirt. No chance at all as he takes a high hop over the right shoulder of Tyler Flowers, and so the double play out of the equation. And now Tyler going out to talk with Johnny Danks, who has not had what he's had the last 2 starts, which is very good control, and he's been ahead of most of the hitters, but not so this evening.
So Ducks on the pond, nobody out here in the top of the first if you're just tuning in.
Michael Brantley had his breakout year last year. He had 327, 20 home runs. He drove in 97. All of the promise he's had in the last few years came to fruition last year when he put it all together and was just about as dominant as any of the hitters around.
And that's back through the middle. And they're going to hold Santana at third. And a good thing they did on a perfect peg by Adam Eaton. 1-0.
Javier number 26 as Bradley takes it back through the middle, not intimidated at all by left-handers. And Adam charges this ball quickly. Mike Sarbaugh holding up Santana. Puts on the brakes. Adam throws the ball all the way to Tyler Flowers. Airmail to Brayu.
So here's Rayburn at 311, a homer he's driven in 12. But against Johnny, he's 17 for 47. And with 17 hits, 13 of them stayed in the park.
Seemingly you could talk about Rayburn's numbers against each and every one of the Sox pitchers, and they're going to be, if not that spectacular, probably right there. Rayburn's been tough against everybody wearing that Sox uniform.
Well, it suffices to say that there's a good chance that he secured his spot in the big leagues because of the Sox. The numbers he put up. All right. Rack him up. Yes. So Santana, the walk comes around the score, and it's 2-0. We'll take it.
Well, if John gets out of this, and it appears that he's on the verge of doing that with just 2 runs, he will consider it a job well done. Lexi stayed right with it. That was a very bad hop at the end. Bouncing high up into the body of Ramirez. He stayed with it. They turned an easy 2.
Here's Swish. Nick, 2 for 9 in the series, 7 for 25 with a couple of homers lifetime off nights. Takes first pitch strike.
Nick looking out at Johnny Danks because he quick pitched him.
Change up. And the count 0-2. And that ball hit hard. And it's 3-0. Tried to sneak a fastball by him.
First home run of the year for Swish. He's driven in 4. His right side is his natural side. He hit a line drive rocket. And it went out of the ballpark. A Ford home run replay. Tyler wanted it inside. And unfortunately, Johnny gets it up and out over the plate. And gone.
So here's Mike Aviles hitting at 283, a couple of homers. He's driven in 5, and that's going foul. 1-1 to count. So a rough start in the finale of this 4-game set. But we still have 27 outs.
And we got a rough young right-hander to get by in Danny Salazar, but his ERA is up over 4.
Melky back. And it's 4-0.
Third home run of the year. RBI number 6. And for John, unfortunately, he's now given up 8 home runs, which leads the team in our 4th home run replay. This is a changeup, and Johnny got it up. And that has been the case. Keeps the changeup down. Works well. Gets it up. Doesn't work so well. It's a very lively park today, as you've seen.
And here's the Cleveland hero in the first 3 games. Jose Ramirez, 22-year-old shortstop. When this series started, he was hitting 168. He's raised it 30 points. 1-2. As being 4 for 6 and big base hits. Some RBIs. He has also thrown some leather. So this inning is going to come to an end, but not before big crooked number goes up on that board. And after a half inning in play, they lead it 4-0.
Off with Melky Cabrera in the 2 spot, then Jose Abreu, Adam LaRoche, Aviseo Garcia, Alexi Ramirez, who has really been good against Salazar, Gordon Beckham, Tyler Flowers, and Emilio Bonifacio rounding it out. The defense and how they'll line up behind the young right-hander, Michael Brantley, Michael Bourne, and Ryan Rayburn in the infield, Aviles, Ramirez, Kipnis, and Santana, Roberto Perez behind the plate. And our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Danny Salazar. He's 4-1 this year. His ERA a touch over 4, but 52 strikeouts, just 6 walks, and 37 2/3. He made 20 starts last year, was coasting in spring training. Then they sent him down to the minor leagues as a wake-up call. Well, he seemingly has gotten it, and now he's throwing real well.
That's an easy 96 miles an hour right there. He just flipped it up to the plate. And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. In case you missed Adams' first home run last night, this was a bomb.
And coming in the 3rd inning, a no-doubter. Salazar has got a slider, and he has an interesting changeup because it's somewhere between a splitter and a three-finger change, and actually doesn't move away from the left-handers, but moves into them.
And that is a good way to start it.
After the first 3 pitches up in the at-bat, he goes with that changeup, keeps it down, and Adam is able to drive it through the right side.
For a 10-game hitting streak. So here's Melky. Melky at 252, a homer. He's driven in 14. Takes that one up high. Another one at 96.
This year, Salazar has struck out 34% of the men he's faced. That puts him number 1 out of 143 qualified pitchers. So he's got very good stuff.
Hitters would much rather see a pitcher who put a lot of effort into throwing 96. But when you're cool breezing it like he is.
He's got a nice 25-year-old arm with a lot of elasticity.
Well, I mentioned it the first time we saw Salazar. He reminds me of a guy we saw, and I think was making his second start. He's got the same kind of release as Mariano Rivera.
If he hangs around as long or has even 25% of the success, he will have had a great career.
Well, that's a stretch or even right there.
This guy's got a chance to be something special.
Yes, he does. Guys who just have that release. It's like Namath and Joel Namath, football. Every now and then you see guys that just that release, and the ball just flies out of their hand. That ball hit high into left field. Back in front of the track goes Michael. Brantley makes a catch for out number 1.
Well, Danny Salazar certainly didn't plan it, but he got his Tommy John surgery out of the way early. He had it back in August of 2010. And many times when you're young and you have that surgery early in your career, you come back and your arm is every bit as strong, if not stronger.
Here's Abreu hitting at 293 with 6 long ones and 22 knocked in.
That ball out of the zone. He fouled it back.
One of the big differences from a hitting standpoint facing that kind of a release is the fact that with a guy who's huffing and puffing, so to speak, and rearing back, and there's a base hit, that a boy. So Adam will make the turn. Runners at the corners and 1 out. And that is a 15-game, check that, 16-game hitting streak for Abreu.
Jose kept his hitting streak alive in his last at bat in the 9th inning last night. Well, he got it out of the way early here as he takes a slider, catches it off the end of the bat, and the play right in front of him. Adam realizes the slowly hit ball. There's no chance for Rayburn to throw him out. So, a chance to break through here in the first inning with runners at the corners and only 1 out.
So here's LaRoche. Adam at 228, 4 homers and 16 knocked in. They got a shift on for him. But when a guy's out there with all the motion and really got everything together, throwing hard, you don't have to cheat on him. But when you're facing a guy like Salazar, who just flips it up there at 96. In the back of your mind, you got to be saying, I got to get ready. I got to get ready. I got to get ready for this. So in essence, you have to cheat off those guys who have that kind of a release. And the more pitches you see, the better chance you've got.
That was a nice stop by Perez. As that one gets by, Adams scores, and Jose scampers into second. Ball looked like it caught him just off the right thumb.
Outfield swung around to the left, and the 2-1. That one at 97. Salazar out of Santo Domingo, 25 years old. Not a big guy, 6 feet, 195 pounds. And a full count.
Salazar came to the major leagues in 2013 for 10 starts. He was there last year for 20 starts.
Count hangs at 3-2. That start by Mariano Rivero against us was back on July 4th, 95. Won 8 innings, gave up 2 hits, struck out 11. Pulled a string on him, fooled him. And 2 down.
Now that's a straight change. And you see what it does. It looks like it starts to cut inside a bit. And using the term straight change, it's a lot different than most, only in that it's 89 miles an hour. So what appears perhaps to the hitter to look like a cutter actually is his version of the straight change.
Here's Avi. Avi 2 for 5 against Salazar with a homer. That pitch at 98. Another one at 98.
Well, he couldn't have thrown 2 more perfect pitches on the first 2 pitches. That's the last 11 games for Avi. He's hit 3 balls out of the ballpark, driven in 9. And in 11 games with 6 multi-hit games, he's been getting it done.
He's seen 3 fastballs, 98, 98, and 97.
Every pitch has been outside, and a veteran pitcher now would go a little bit more outside than number 3. See if he'll chase one for you.
That's up high.
Salazar 2-1 lifetime against our Sox, but his ERA is up over 5.
And they got him. So we get an excellent opportunity. Can't do anything with it, and we trail it 4-0.
prorated 58-game full or 19 or 20-game split season plan. Ticket packages begin during the week of June 5th. So to purchase prorated full or split season ticket packages, visit whitesox.com or call 312-674-1000.
Here's Perez.
Very happy dad, you would assume. He got his 2 daughters at the game.
Thought you were talking about Perez.
He might be a very happy dad also.
Perez hitting at 176, 3 homers. He's driven in 7. That pitch is just a little bit low. There's a strike on the corner.
He is a very happy dad. He's got a son, Roberto Andres Perez, going on 2 years old.
Three and 1 to count. Second walk issued by Danks. Walked Santana last inning and he scored. So here's Michael Bourne, 32-year-old veteran outfielder, hitting at 228, no homers. He's driven in 9. Michael 1 for 7 in the series.
Don Cooper is already on the phone. Never a good sign this early.
Can't get it. That ball had a lot of spin.
Unfortunately, it's a very bad bunt that turned into gold for Michael Bourne. He's not a particularly good bunter, and bad bunters will drop the head of the bat. When they do that, it pops the ball up, and you see dropping the head of the bat. He winds up dropping in a no man's land. It has backspin on it, and by the time Tyler gets there, Bourne is too fast. He's got no play at second base, and he beats the play by a step at first.
So here's a man that started off that 4-run first with a double in left center field. Kipnis, Jason. Hitting at 333 on the season, 4 homers and 17 knocked in. They get Bourne at second, so 1 out, runners at the corners.
Alexi wisely looked at third because he's got no play at first with Kipnis charging up the line. He was thinking perhaps Perez was going to round the bag, but Mike Sarbaugh, knowing the ball was in the infield, told him to hold it right there as Scott Carroll begins loosening up in the pen.
Santana takes it just ahead of just a bit of the bottom quadrant. And that one had just a bit of the top. But to count 2-0.
When you're all over the place, and John has been tonight, you're not going to get the benefit of the close pitches. Santana's a better hitter from the right side, but he's got much more power from the left side. All 4 of his home runs has come as a left-hand hitter.
Johnny got the benefit of that one.
Missing the strike zone as much as he has led him to deliver his 41st pitch.
One out. Perez at third. Gibness at first. 4-5-0 for them. 0-2-0 for us here in the top of the second inning. Change up and a full count.
He's got Santana well out in front of this one.
Plate. Now come home. Oh boy, it's 5-0.
Little confusion as to who was going to cover the plate, and Perez, not a real fast runner, timed his break to the plate as well as he possibly could. This tapper out in front of the plate. Tyler gets to it, and then John realizes he's got to cover the plate. Unfortunately, that throw is right into the sliding runner. And I don't think there's a chance for Johnny to get it. He realizes he's got a chance at a play, but that throw leaves him no chance to get to the ball. RBI E3.
Here's Brantley. Had an RBI single, but they get a. That's the 5th gift run we have given them in this series, and they lead at 5-0.
We take on the Tigers on Friday, June 5th. That's Italian Heritage Night. It'll feature specifically priced tickets and post-game fireworks, all after the game. Purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/Italy for Italian Heritage Night. It's a genuine kid.
Here is Alexei hitting at 235. Couple homers, 18 knocked in. That he has hit Salazar well. Takes the bunt, takes the strike. Faced him 10 times, 8 hits, 1 homer. Change up.
When someone has that kind of success against you, you try to go to and invent a pitch.
That's a can of corn.
And that time Salazar went to his old standby, which was a well-placed fastball right on the outside corner.
And right now, let's check out our picks to click. There you see Bonifacio. It's a Cruz pick. Beckham is Steve's pick, and Christine O'Reilly, Martha Black, Joe Simmons, Bailey Smith, and I. We're going to go with Adam Eaton. Breaking ball. Where'd that come from? That one at 96. What job? So Gordon. First walk issued by Salazar. And here's Tyler. Tyler at 205 with a homer and 7 RBIs.
Salazar signed and developed by the Indian organization. Followed as a 15-year-old, signed as a 16-year-old, and here he is. There you look at the numbers. He's just now learning how to pitch to go with that great arm.
The breaking ball with a drop down. And the count 0-2. Yeah, he's got a great arm. There's no discussion about that. You might see one in, I don't know, I'm just going to give you off the wall figure. You might see one release like that in every 3,000 or 4,000 pitchers.
Well, he doesn't have the breaking ball of Yordano Ventura, but he has a very similar fastball to the Kansas City young right-hander.
Yeah, that ball comes out of his hand. Very Ventura, but I think the ball comes out of Salazar's hand, maybe just a little quicker and easier.
Well, he's a bigger man.
Yeah.
He's a bigger man than Ventura, but doesn't have his curveball. But the Indians believe that he's going to be a top of the rotation starter. And when you look at the starters they have, this rotation will be the envy of most, the equal of some, and certainly good enough to support a winning team if they can get consistent offense.
And rack him up. They'll retire the side. We'll go to the third. It is 5-0. using the hashtag White Sox Talk, and make sure to follow us on Twitter at CSN White Sox. Not good if you're just tuning in. It's 5-0 Indians. Rayburn, Swisher, and Aviles. Breaking ball, no. Change up, no.
Johnny has to do now is forget about the 5-0 and try to keep his team out of the bullpen. Sox play 20 games in the next 19 days without an off day, and so the last thing you want to do is start to go deep into that pen and decimate it with no time off.
Well, during that run we had, Scott Carroll was instrumental in that.
Now, Scott Carroll has saved a few bullpens by throwing real well when he came in early a few times. Hopefully they won't need him for this game tonight, and Johnny will settle down, get some innings under his belt, allow the offense to try to fight their way back into this one.
Payoff pitch to Rayburn. That's out of play, and we'd like to welcome all of our viewers watching on CTI Fiber in Taylorville, Illinois. Taylorville, yes. CTI Fiber is a new CSN affiliate, and welcome. They got my money in Taylorville. And nice. Oh, he got a nice hop. Cantini hop.
Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
This Wish got ahead with him on a good changeup and try to sneak a fastball by him, and Powell picks up his first homer of the year.
In the first inning, high fastball goes out of the yard.
That changeup out and around it.
Career numbers against Johnny Danks pretty good. In fact, up and down this lineup, the Indian hitters have had their way with John. He came in 5-12 against them lifetime.
So Baltimore beats Seattle. Steve Pearce with a grand slam home run in that game. He gone. That was a beat pitch there.
Switch didn't like the call, but it was a perfect pitch. Take a look at where 5 pops up. It catches a strike zone low and away. And Nick looking back at Larry Vanover with a look of incredulity. But the ball had the zone. What are you going to do?
He got some great facial expressions.
Yep. Brad Mills says, hang in there, kid. You'll probably see another one before your career's over.
Here's Mike Aviles, who went back-to-back with Swish. Mike picking up his 3rd homer of the season.
Two guys you were looking at have been together a long time, Terry Francona and Brad Mills. Every good manager needs a very good right-hand man. Brad Mills has been that for Terry Francona for some time. There's a look at Brad to the right of Terry.
That's pretty good tandem right there. 10 consecutive winning seasons in this culture today.
Pretty strong.
Oh, well, if you wanted to bet somebody was going to do it, you could stack it up.
Yeah, you don't find that too often, even with really good teams.
No, not at all. Not 10 consecutive. Not in today's game. Not with free agency and the whole bit. It's just Terry's done it, and he and Brad have done it. And that ball hit into right field. So a 1-2-3 inning. Johnny needed that. Now we got to get some offense, some offense. The Minnesota Twins. Paul Molitor's Minnesota Twins. Boy, have they played well, only on CSN Chicago. It'll be Bonifacio, then back to the top of the order with Adam Eaton. That one at 95, taken for a ball.
Emilio getting a start in order to keep your guys on the bench fresh and in a good rhythm. You got to get them 4 or 5 at bats every now and then, and that's what Robin is doing with Emilio, who fills a very valuable role as a swingman off the bench normally.
So one of his big assets is in the clubhouse. Plains, got a tremendous personality. Loves to laugh. Much out.
I don't think you see him very often without a smile on his face.
I've never seen him without a smile on his face. Well, he doesn't have one right now, but I'm talking about.
Right now he's facing 97.
That's right.
He's facing some fire coming out of Salazar's hand.
Off your face.
Tried to get around on that one. That fastball right down the middle, and he was tardy.
You know, if it's just a straight 97 mile an hour with a normal delivery, that's okay. There's a base hit. That a boy. That one at 88.
Well, that was his changeup.
Yeah.
And he didn't fool him. I think that Emilio was very happy. And this is, again, a lot of times a young pitcher will make a mistake in a situation like this. he's thrown fastballs that Emilio has not been able to get around on. I mean, he's fouling them over the Sox dugout. So he gives him the one pitch he can catch up with, which is a straight change.
Well, he tried to trick him.
Winds up giving up a base hit.
We get into a game out in Oakland when I was playing with Cleveland. Sam McDowell was pitching for us. And Catfish was pitching for the Oakland A's. Catfish Hunter, Hall of Famer. And there was a little disparity in the stuff between the two of them.
A little disparity in the careers between the two of them, too.
But Sam had like 14 or 15 strikeouts going to the 10th inning. So we get a couple of runs in the top of the 10th. I think we were leading 3-1 going to the bottom of the 10th. Well, Sam strikes out first guy, 15 strikeouts. And Eddie Leon was a shortstop, made an error. Then he walked a guy. Then Eddie booted another ball. Anyway, the bases loaded, and they sent up Tommy Davis, former Dodger, who drove in 150-something runs one year. But Tommy was at the end. There is ball four, so the first 2 men aboard. But Tommy has lost his ability to turn a fastball around. Sam had a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, of course. So Alvin Dark was the manager. I was playing first. Alvin comes out and says, Sam, don't even mess around with this guy. Just blow him away. Sam says, gotcha, Skip. Alvin turned around, goes back to the dugout. And he got 1 foot in that dugout. And here comes a high straight change.
I'm going to guess he hit it out.
No, he rattled the top of the wall out there in left center field. All 3 runs scored, and we get beat. So after the game, Sam don't even shower. We were standing at the Edgewater Inn. He goes right to the end. I hurry up and shower, get one of the clubbies to take me over there, and he's sitting having a beer. And I said, Sam, I'm not second guessing you. I said, but you know, Alvin just told you to blow him away. Tommy doesn't hit the fastball anymore. He's spotting over that hawk. He says, you know, but I started thinking, Tommy knows that I know that he knows.
Yeah.
He said, so I decided I'd try to trick him on the first pitch.
That worked out well.
Yeah.
So Mickey Callaway goes out, and he has his say with his young right-hander, who's in a jam. He's got Cabrera, Abreu, and LaRoche. But the Sox looking to get a little closer to the Tribe.
Cabrera went out deep to left field. Takes first pitch strike at 97.
With runners in scoring position, Melky's been good. In fact, Melky's been a lot better than all of his numbers look like, because from the left side, which has been his dominant side, he's hit a lot of line drives at people.
Melky's been wearing it. From a pitching standpoint, Quintana's been wearing it. And when we say wearing it, it means going around with a cloud over their head. Melky's been squaring it up right at somebody. Quintana's been getting nothing but bad breaks. Slaps that one.
From a hitting standpoint, when you're going through what Melky has gone through, it appears like there's 15 guys out there in front of everything you're hitting.
I'll say one thing, he's handled it well.
All you can do is just keep hitting the baseball consistently, and they tell you eventually they're going to fall.
Bunch of bull.
You're still waiting for him to even out from your career?
That's not even close. No, I didn't. That's not even close. It's not even close to even enough. Count remains 0-2. Down and in. So a big out.
Big out and a big stop, because that one gets through the legs of Perez, and 2 runners going to be in scoring position for Jose.
Abreu singled.
He got on top of that one. That was an off-speed pitch. He left it up in the zone. and he rifled it just foul. That's a changeup that Salazar got up. He's lucky to have gotten away with this.
Well, that's a bad pitch to any of our hitters on the first pitch.
As aggressive as our guys are.
That is a bad pitch.
During the 16-game streak, 7 runs batted in. He scored 12. And he's going to start hitting the ball out of the park. Now, looks like he might have hurt his hand as he got over the top of that one, and Robin's going to come out along with Herm. They're going to see what happened. See it right there. When he let go of the bat, he's starting shaking that right hand.
What is that?
First knuckle of the index finger.
The index finger?
Yep.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Especially on that kind of swing.
On an index finger, period. I could understand it would be the tendon.
Yeah, sometimes, I was going to say, sometimes that wrist will give you some problems. And that can stay with you for a while.
Yeah, if you get one of those, if you pull one of those tendons in the wrist early on in the season, it will probably stay with you all year long. You can play through it, but it hurts. All right, 1 out, 2 on.
Perez is looking up, talking with Abreu. Maybe Roberto wants to know if it really hurts him. He'll throw a fastball inside to him.
That one at 98. That's about all he's got right there.
98 with life. Upstairs, you're not going to catch up with it. You're just hoping that he gets that one down where you can drop the head on it, because upstairs, you've got 0 chance.
Well, it's Sir Isaac Newton. When it's down low, you get a little help from gravity. When it's up high, you fight it. And that one at 96. And that one at 97.
Nothing,
so 2 outs.
Nothing fancy there with Abreu. Salazar just reached back, got whatever he had, and just threw it by him. This ball's on the outside corner. It's a perfect pitch. And he was able to overpower him.
Yeah, when he gets it out there, and it's going to be a strike, and you know it, you don't have time to think about it, you just know it. Then you got to swing at it, and you got no chance. So here's Adam. He struck out on a changeup. They got a shift on.
The one real hope that the Sox have, and this is a very likely possibility, it happens with Salazar a lot, is that the pitches pile up to the point where Terry Francona has to take him out of the game, and now Hermy has gone over once again to talk with Jose about that hand. Apparently he's not able to grip it quite as well as he would like.
You know, I think it was probably, I was watching him take, I went down and watching him take BP at the cage, in the last few swings he took, he choked up about an inch and a half on the bat. So that may have been with him prior to that swing.
You know what it could have been also? If you remember the base hit he had was a slider right off the end of the bat.
Right.
Could very well be that the vibration from that one might have stayed with him.
Yeah, but that's the first time I've ever seen him in batting practice or any time choke up on the bat. There's that change. He did not go. And the count 3-1. That's a big difference right there. And that will load him up for Avi.
In his first at bat, he got a slider away and hit it off the end of the bat. Now at first base, he's looking at his hand there, and that could very well be when it was done, because he's talking with Darryl Boston about it, and he's flexing his finger.
Got that nerve.
Yep.
That's what happened right off the end of the bat, and he irritated that nerve. Avi struck out. He struck out on the changeup his first trip. Couldn't get that off-speed pitch. Way out in front. Sacks packed with Sox. Perez, another good.
Time now for AT&T Uverse Multiview. Pretty good speed at second and third, and Adams at first.
That's a good take right there. He's not going to get that one. This guy here, you've got to make him get it down. Not many guys playing Major League Baseball that can get on top of his 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Let her high. That one at 98.
Salazar just reached back. Didn't even bother with the corner. Just threw it on the outer third. But just a little too much for Avi on that pitch.
Strikes out the side. Spans the bases loaded. And we're into the fourth, trailing by 5.
Tigers. The first 5,000 kids ages 13 and under will receive a White Sox Kids XL hoodie presented by Aquafina. Purchase your tickets by visiting whitesox.com/promos. And Jose is back. That hand not 100%. It's going to be talking to him for a bit, but hopefully it'll be good by the next time he comes to bat.
Ramirez popped up to Avi in right field. 1-1 to count. 5-5-0 for them. 0-3-1 for us. Nice little breaking ball. And that's out number one. I was just thinking. You know, if I had to have two guys to win a ball game against that release of Salazar at 98, let her high, with a man on third, less than 2 out, it would be Justin Pedroia and Jose Altuve.
Well, Pedroia is just about as good a high fastball hitter as has been in the league, as that MVP would indicate. And Altuve now, with the kind of strike zone he has and his ability to get on top of just about anything at any speed,
maybe the two best high fastball hitters in the league.
Right now he's state of the art, and he's got that Houston team playing unbelievable baseball, although they lost to Detroit in extra innings this afternoon. Detroit beating them 6-5, derailing for the moment that Houston Express. So the Astros now 5 games in front of the Angels.
Yeah, James McCann hit a home run in the 11th.
27-15. There the Angels. Not off to the greatest start. I think the Mariners somewhat surprising, because everybody thought they would be right there. Before it's over, they still might be.
There's a strike, and the count goes full.
On to pitch tracks. We'll show you that comes out of the zone.
He gone. Change up.
Perez well out in front of it. Thinks he should be at first base. Might have a complaint there. Can't say too much to Larry Vanover, because he's got to get some pitches for Danny Salazar.
Breaking ball strike.
First 2 pitches almost in an identical spot. Both of them in the zone, although Bourne didn't like either of them.
Full count. He gone. 1, 2, 3. That is 9 in a row retired by Johnny Danks.
He is a talented young right-hander who throws awfully hard for those New York Mets. He went 8 innings today. Gave up just 1 hit, 11 strikeouts. Retired the last 23 he faced. Only Matt Carpenter was able to solve it. DeGrom, a good-looking youngster. The Mets have an exceptional, young, hard-throwing staff. And one day, after Terry Collins, their manager, said there's no panic here as Washington swept by the Mets. The Mets got a half game closer to the Nationals.
And we trail it here 5-0 in the finale of this 4-game series. Breaking ball, no.
66 pitches for Danny Salazar, and he's just starting the 4th inning, so they're starting to pile up on him, as you would expect for a guy that strikes out a lot and walks a lot of guys.
Well, he's going to always throw a lot of pitches with that release he's got. Guys are going to foul a lot of pitches off that fastball. That was 97.
Let's hope he gets to that 105, 110 mark. So they have to go to the bullpen a whole lot earlier than Terry Francona would like it. And as you can see, 24 and then 29 in the 1st and 3rd. He had a very economical 2nd.
And the difference being is a guy like Corey Kluber, you don't foul a lot of those pitches off. You foul them off, but not nearly as many as you are off Salazar.
You just miss him.
That's it. He's a swing and miss guy. This guy is there as a chopper. 1 out. Alexi now 0 for 2. And here's Gordon. Gordon walked his first trip. Took that pitch nicely at 96. Foul ball on that 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
It's a great pitching matchup today as San Francisco shut out the Dodgers. Madison Bumgarner beat Clayton Kershaw and to add insult to injury, he had a 415-foot home run against him. And I don't know how Bruce Bochy does it year after year, but those Giants knocking at the door again of the Dodgers in a year that was supposed to be a down year for them.
Well, especially after the start the Giants got off to. Oh, boy. He just flat whiffed on that one. Picks up his 8th error.
That's what young, talented shortstops will do. They'll boot the easy ones. They'll make all the hard plays. That will go into the category of one of the easy ones.
Here's Tyler. Tyler 0 for 1, hit into a 6-4-3 double play.
Brian Sabian has been one of the great orchestrators of a baseball team out in San Francisco for many years, seemingly giving Bruce Bochy on a yearly basis exactly what he needs to be successful. You lose Hunter Pence. Gets his arm broken in spring training. Pablo Sandoval goes and signs a big free agent contract with the Red Sox to get a lot of thunder from a World Series championship team taken off the team, and still they're right back there knocking at the door of first place again.
Well, Bruce Bochy is one of the best.
Yeah, he is really
absolutely one of the best.
The Giants, after a relatively slow start, just a game and a half back. The Padres, who were supposed to be there at the end, losing tonight 2-0 to the Cubs early. They're under 500, despite a lot of acquisitions and a lot of money spent.
2 down. 6 strikeouts now. or Salazar.
Once again, that's that changeup. It's pretty much unlike anything that anyone has ever seen because it's not a circle change and it's not exactly a splitter, but he does spread his fingers apart using 3 fingers, and
3-finger change.
It's the velocity.
That's what Tom Seaver threw, a 3-finger change.
It's really the velocity of a lot of lesser throwers' fastball. In fact, he's throwing it most of the time faster than Sean Markham, who started a game and pitched very well for the Tribe. His fastball is 86. His changeup has been 86 to 88 or 89.
Yeah, he's 89 with a changeup. First one he threw. There's the strike. High strike. Emilio single. Got a changeup. Single to start off last inning. Fastball at 97. That one at 97, and that is strikeout number 7. And we're into the 5th. Sportsnet, tail of the tape. 5-0. Top of the order here in the top of the 5th. Kipnis, Santana, and Brantley. Kipnis 1 for 2. Started off the game with a double in the left center field, and they went on and got 4. Beckham. Run out of room. One heck of a player, Jason Kipnis.
17 multi-hit games. You can imagine that's among the league leaders.
Yeah, but he's one of those guys. Not so much what he hits, but when he hits it.
Last year was such an injury-plagued year for him. It was very frustrating. Didn't hit a homer till July 31st, and When you're not healthy and you can't get healthy, it's just terribly disappointing.
Two and two.
And he'll always look at that year when he looks down through all of his accomplishments, where he hit 6 home runs and drove in 41 while hitting just 240.
Damned himself, Alexei.
Now until May 31st, if you buy 4 qualifying Cooper tires from a participating Cooper dealer, you score a voucher for 4 free White Sox tickets. Life's a road trip. Come on, let's go. Visit whitesox.com/Cooper Tires for more information or to redeem your voucher.
Santana walked and scored in the first. Didn't get an RBI. On the ground out. 2-3.
Get a shot at Don Cooper, and you know that he certainly appreciates the fact that after that rocky start, Johnny has really buttoned it up.
All right. Jimmy Johns. 2 down.
Bidding for his first home run from the right side this year, Santana gives this one a ride. It's a rolling breaking ball, and he gets most of it, but leaves Adam a couple of steps to spare.
Michael Brantley had an RBI single in the first, and then he grounded to second. Takes ball 1.
11 in a row. Retired by Johnny Danks. Last year, Brantley was #1 in the American League, hitting with runners in scoring position. He hit .376. Last year, his coming out party, great in every category.
Three and 1 the count. 28-year-old outfielder. Bit of a gap out there in left center. A lot of room between Avi and that right field line. And there's ball 4. So that breaks that streak. Third walk issued by Danks. First 2 scored.
Brantley 6 for 6 in stolen bases, so you got to keep a close eye on him. And if he wants to get adventuresome, John will have a shot to pick him off.
Change up. Well, this past off season, I didn't know this. Didn't read about it. Baseball and Kansas City and Baltimore, Cleveland lost a huge asset in Hank Peters. Passed away at the age of 90. High into center field. Adams got it, so we're halfway home. We need 5 to tie. Fifth inning, our half. We trail at 5-0. They scored 4 in the first, 1 in the second. Adam Eaton has singled and he has walked. Catches a break right there and the count 1-0. Corners in close. And the count 1-1.
Main goal here is to put a lot of pressure, obviously trying to score if you can against Salazar, but for sure don't let him get out of this inning under 100 pitches.
And that is into left center field. Michael Bourne, 1 out.
That at bat ended a little sooner than Adam would have liked. First time he's been retired tonight. There you look at the numbers. The 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, but only 3 hits. He's used 86 pitches with 1 out here in the 5th.
One pitch. Change up. Melky's won it again tonight as far as who he's made the best pitches on. There's a shot base hit. Turn that 96-mile-an-hour fastball around.
He tried to get that ball up a little higher in the zone and didn't get it there. And no chance for Santana. This is a rocket. A one-hopper by Santana into right field.
And this is 1,300th career hit.
That ball hit. The overspin just kicked it up and over the glove of Santana.
So here is Abreu. He is singled and struck out. Good rip. Boy, he got that right hand off the bat in a hurry.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is talking to him somewhat. Takes a swing and then lets go with the right hand. So if the hand didn't feel bad enough, he fouled it off his leg.
Well, now his hand won't hurt.
Yeah, takes the emphasis away from your hand. There's that change. Hits it right off his instep.
Fouled over into our dugout. So the count hangs at 1-2.
See the four-seam fastball up to 98. His changeup anywhere from 85 to 88. And, well, a slider as opposed to a curveball. He throws a curve occasionally. It's 78 it'll bottom out at.
That ball hit hard into center field. Stretch! Get over his head. He won't. Look at the play by Michael Bourne. Melky now had made the turn around second base, and they get him. What a play by Michael Bourne. Man, a great catch, great relay. And we'll go to the 6th, still trailing 5-0.
He's got a retouch second as Bourne takes a few steps. He gets it back to Kipnis. You see Melky right there putting the brakes on, having to retouch and hustle back. Kipnis on the short hop, and he had to short hop the relay throw, getting it back in eventually to Santana. And they turned the unconventional 8-4-3 double play. But what a play by Bourne.
Swisher, Aviles, and Ramirez to face Johnny Danks. Johnny started off having some control issues and gave up 4 in the first, 1 in the second. Since then, giving our bullpen some much needed rest as far as getting him out there in third or fourth inning. High pop up. Adam making the call, and Avi pulling up. 1 out. Well, we have had, just goes to show you, our outfield play has really been good this year, and the communication has been excellent, as certainly opposed to the last 4 years.
Yes, it has.
That's softly hit, base hit. So Aviles now homered in the first. He and Swisher went back to back. He's 2 for 3. It's the first hit for them since that little bunt single by Bourne in the second inning. Here's Ramirez. He's popped up to right and gone out to center. Good pitch, didn't get it.
Scott Carroll starts loosening as John is knocking at the door of 100 pitches. About ready to deliver his 98th.
Couldn't get that change up.
All that damage happened early, and then Johnny righted the ship as he's carried it into the 6th inning.
He got him picked off.
Very poorly played rundown, and Aviles is able to get back in. Now Robin is going to argue, I believe, that Aviles might have gone out of the base paths. We'll take another look at it. He's picked them off. That part is good. You got to run them all the way back, but you got to make sure that you're able to use just one throw to get him. That throw hits Aviles. I think what Robin is saying, that Aviles went out of the baseline to avoid Abreu.
Well, he's saying it because we had a guy that did not go out of the base paths, and he was called out for going out of the base paths. Every umpire's got their own formula for that. Fairchild said it was a 3-foot, and that our guy was out past 3 feet, which he was not.
He was 3.5 feet.
Two and one. Yeah, that was not worked well by our guys. Umpires should not have had to make a decision. Three and one. And it's full. So now 1 out and 2 on rather than 1 on and 2 out. And here comes Robin. That was pitch number 102. So Johnny, who gave up 4 in the first, 1 in the second, settled down, and now going to give it up.
So as John walks out, Scott Carroll comes in. We'll step out and be back after these messages. A 1-1, his ERA a fine 2.84, on for just the 6th time, but he's had some extended relief appearances as he's entered 3 games relatively early. This time Johnny Danks, after a rocky start, settled down and threw the ball very well. Shouldn't have been in the situation he's in this inning, having picked Aviles off, only to see him scamper back to first. But a couple of men on, only 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. The Indians lead 5-0. They've out hit the Sox 6-4. Each team has committed 1 error.
So here's Roberto Perez. He walked to lead off the second, came around to score. And he struck out on a good changeup in the 4th. Outfield for the most part, straight up. always like to see when a relief pitcher comes in there with men on second, especially a guy who's not afraid to steal a base. To back off, let him know he's thinking about him a little bit. A lot of times you get some relief pitchers, the best pitch to go on is the first one. As that swung on and count 1-1.
It's pretty good that the runners are not reversed, with Ramirez being at second, Aviles at first, because Aviles has swiped one bag and Ramirez has run wild.
Well, he tried to steal one a while ago.
He did.
So he's not afraid to go.
There's the faster of the duo, who's had a very good series. Scott throws ground balls, and that could come in awfully handy with Perez, who doesn't run particularly well. He's rounded into 3 double plays.
Tags it up. That's a good pitch anyway. And he didn't get it.
Well, I think he got maybe fixated on the swing. Didn't realize that that pitch had a piece of the plate.
One pitch. And that will load him up. So now that botched rundown looming a little larger. And here's Bourne.
He's had a base hit tonight, but his big contribution is a great catch in center field that he turned into a double play.
Oh, and 1 to count. Bourne had a bunt single. He had a lot of backspin on. He just flat beat it out.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed action replay, and it is the aforementioned double play. Jose hits the daylight out of it. Bourne runs it down. Short hops Kipnis, but he picks it and gets it back in just in time to double Melky.
To the count. 5-6-1 for the Indians. 0-4-1 for our Sox in the finale of this 4-game set. Minnesota coming to town tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. And of course, Saturday, Paul Konerko retiring his jersey. Two and 2. And tomorrow night, Jeff Samar joined the bump for us. Phil Hughes for the Twinkies Saturday. Chris Sale for us. Trevor May, Minnesota. And on Sunday, in the finale of that set in this homestand, Jose Quintana against Kyle Gibson. Now, tomorrow, if you can't make it, we'll be over Comcast Sportsnet. Saturday over WGN. And Sunday over Comcast Sportsnet. Got way ahead of him. Now let him back into the count as 3-2. Just to try to climb back into this game. This is a big pitch coming up right here. Payoff. Pops him up. Melky making the call. Nobody's going anywhere. So that is out number 2. But you got another tough customer stepping into that box.
Keeps that one down in the zone, and Bourne pops it straight up in the air. A big out. And a very good hitter to try to ease by in Jason Kipnis.
Kipnis doubled to lead off the ball game in the left center field. Started off that 4-run first. Takes strike. And that's going foul.
Jason really started to hit when Terry Francona put him into the number 1 spot. And he hasn't stopped hitting. Plus his on-base percentage just under 400. Used to be standard for leadoff hitters. Now you're looking at 360, 365, and they consider that a good on-base percentage. Anything above that is excellent.
That's a strike, and he didn't get that one.
That's a bad break because this ball, a backdoor slider, has the entire strike zone.
That's a bad call.
Well, I think what happened is that Tyler got caught in between, didn't catch it well, and took it out of the zone.
That's looped out there, but we got a man. And that'll retire the side, so he pitches out of it. They threaten, don't score, and it's still 5-0 Cleveland.
U.S. Cellular Field. Take home a piece of White Sox history, including game-used equipment, jerseys, hats, and much more. Entrance to the garage sale is free. For more information, visit whitesoxcharities.org. It's a 5-0 game, and so far, Salazar has been on the ropes a couple of times, only to find his way into a scoreless 5 innings so far, but he's on pitch number 95.
Yeah, we had the bases loaded in the third, had men on first and third in the first with 1 out, couldn't do anything as there's first pitch strike to LaRoche. Adam has struck out and he has walked. That one at 94. Adam was 3 home runs short of 250 in his career. One and two. Ball hit hard, but hooking. So Johnny Danks, 5 1/3, 5 runs, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. He now is 10 short of 1,000 for his career in strikeouts.
Ben is up for the first time, and it's Brian Shaw.
Ramirez has got him for out number 1.
He didn't want to swing at this one, and as you'll see, it's out of the zone. It's that changeup again that has good movement down. Also has good late movement, and the excuse me swing lost him at bat.
Here's Avi. Avi 0 for 2. That one at 97, so he's still got some gas.
He's still able to throw that fastball as hard as he's been throwing it to this point, and he keeps it up to Avi.
Well, facing Salazar is tantamount to facing a closer in today's game who comes in, but he has a changeup.
That for him has been the big equalizer.
Oh yeah, that's it.
There it is right there, and I'm not sure how you hit it, especially with that late movement. He didn't always have this. But as you can see, right at the last instant, at 85 miles an hour, the bottom drops out of it. It almost acts like a splitter. That's why it's as effective as it is, and he most of the time keeps it down. 8 Ks.
I haven't seen him hang one tonight.
No, they've been pretty consistent.
So here's Alexei. There's a shot base hit. That a boy, Alexei. So you're going to give it a go. Bourne with the throw and safe. Ten doubles now for Alexei.
First ball fastball, and he drills it. And then decides to test Michael Bourne. He's thinking about 2. And he's in because the throw is off the mark.
Well, Alexei is the best right-handed hitting fastball hitter we've got. So here's Beckham, a walk, and he reached on an arrow. And takes first pitch strike. That one at 96.
If you don't have good hands, fast hands, you're not going to stand up as far up at the box as he is. And he can turn around anybody's fastball.
Ball comes out of Salazar's hands. Reminds me, as I mentioned earlier, of Mariano Rivera, and also 8-time 20-game winner for Baltimore.
Jim Palmer.
Jim Palmer.
Little taller.
Yeah, but comes out the same.
I was going to say, threw about the same velocity with that little extra hop at the end. because he threw pretty much straight over the top. Palmer threw straight over the top.
Yeah, he did. That ball hit well into right center field by Beckham. But Warren's there to corral it. They'll retire the side. We're into the 7th. Not good.
Ticket opportunities featuring locked-in seating locations along with game day audio, membership gifts, and much more, all for just $29.95. Visit SoxPrideClub.com to join.
We're into the 7th inning. Santana, Brantley, and Rayburn for them against Scott Carroll as they scored 4 in the first, 1 in the second. If you're just tuning in, we've had a couple of opportunities and we just couldn't do anything with them. But when you got stuff like Salazar, he's going to pitch out of a lot of jams. Santana has walked and scored. And he's 0 for 2. Last time up went deep to center field. He's just trying to pick himself up a quick base hit as they get the shift on, which is a good concept.
Well, it's a real good idea because he didn't feel like bunting it, which would have been a sure base hit. All he wanted to do was tap it. And nobody was home on the left side. So what a lot of teams will do is move whoever is left, in this case is Gordon Beckham, move him in on the grass until there's 2 strikes to take that away from a hitter in a severe shift. But Gordon is back. It's halfway at shortstop. But this is where all Santana's power is. All 4 of his home runs have come as a left-hand hitter.
Two balls and a strike. And the count 3-1. Checking some other scores. Texas beat Boston 3-1 at Fenway. Tampa Bay shuts that Oakland 3-0. He's still scuffling. That was down in St. Pete. Here's a strike, so the count's 3-2. Atlanta thumped Milwaukee down in Atlanta 10-1. Toronto doubled up the Angels 8-4 up in Canada. Brave. Scott right where he should be, so that is out number 1. D-backs beat Miami 7-6 down in Florida. I was talking to a couple of Cleveland guys and they said Miami is terrible.
Apparently it wasn't Redmond's fault.
I mean,
because Dan Jennings has had an 0-4 start to his managerial career.
A couple guys Marlins were really bad.
Ryan Webb throwing in the pen.
Here's Brantley. RBI single, grounder to second, and a base on balls. Takes first pitch strike. Detroit in 11 innings beats Houston 6-5. James McCann, a home run. Mets shut out the Cardinals 5-0. DeGrom. 11 punch outs.
He is a hard throwing right-hander.
Oh boy. Good recognition right there. 2 out. Have you seen him interviewed?
I've seen him pitch. Haven't seen him interviewed.
I saw him interviewed probably a week ago. We were on the road. Boy, he's an impressive young man.
They've got themselves an excellent young pitching staff.
He is. He's impressive. Says the right things. Good personality. As here's Murph. David Murphy hitting for Rayburn, who was 0 for 3. Rayburn just 1 for 10 in this series. How about that? It's a moral victory in itself. Can't get it.
Mets have Matt Harvey back again.
He's just throwing a lot of goose eggs up there, Adam.
Talented youngster just brought to the big leagues named Noah Sidergaard. They have a strong rotation. Eventually they'll get Wheeler back, though he's been hurt.
That's trouble. Down into the corner, so the double. The 2-out double by Murph. That Sidergaard was the one that hit Carlos Gomez with that 97-mile-an-hour fastball in the helmet.
This is an off-speed pitch, and Murphy goes out and gets it. Takes it down the line.
Here's Swish. He's 1 for 3 with a homer. Tops that one fine. Two out, 1-1 to count. Johnny making his own hop. And that'll retire the tie. 7th inning stretch. 5-0 Indians.
David Murphy stays in the game in right field. And Ryan Webb comes into the game in relief of Danny Salazar. Webb out for the 8th time. He's 1-0. His ERA 1.64. Only 5 hits in 11 innings. It's hard to believe, but left-handers have not gotten a base hit against them this year.
It's a very impressive performance by Danny Salazar.
5 hits in 6 innings. 8 strikeouts.
Easy.
He walked 3.
Easy delivery, and absolute ball just jumps out of his hand. There's first pitch strike to Tyler. Tyler 0 for 2. You don't see many balls out of the hand like Danny Salazar. One and one to count.
Webb's dad was a former Major League pitcher, Hank Webb. Pitched for the Mets and the Dodgers in the 70s.
Two balls and a strike.
This kind of falls into the anybody but Salazar situation when you go to the bullpen with 9 outs to cover.
In our hitter's minds, you better believe it. 2-2.
Webb was with the Dodgers. He elected free agency after being outrighted and signed with the Indians.
Got him. Good pitch.
He also spent some time with the Baltimore Orioles.
So here is Emilio. He's 1 for 2. And that ball hit hard. Stay fair. It won't. Right church, wrong pew.
So the pitch tracks will show you that was a changeup right down the middle. Unfortunately, got out around a little too quickly. Get the daylights out of it, but hooked it.
Thinks that one lowered away. So 1-1 to count. There's a souvenir left side. I've seen a whole bunch of souvenir left sides tonight. We saw a whole bunch of right side.
We saw a couple of souvenir left sides from Bonifacio the first time up till he got that changeup that he roped for a base hit.
Yeah.
Wasn't getting around in that fastball too much.
And we saw a bunch of our right-handed hitters right over that first base dugout.
Well, the young man maintained his velocity into the 100s pitch count. 97, 98 miles an hour. It stayed consistent.
Got him. So 2 out, two strikeouts for Webb.
Good breaking ball and a very good stop by Perez. As Emilio well out in front of it.
Adams singled in the first, walked in the third, one out to his counterpart in the fifth. Sox have the Twins coming in starting tomorrow to finish up this homestand 3-game set. Then it's off on a tough road trip. A very tough road trip. 3 in Toronto Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Then after the game in Toronto, fly to Baltimore on the off day, the 28th, for a doubleheader. Make up those 2 games because of the riots while we were there. And after the second game of that doubleheader, fly down to Houston. There's Adams. So a nice inning for Webb. 1, 2, 3, and we're into the 8th. Well, it's hard to catch them when you haven't scored a run. And here is Aviles. He's 2 for 3. That homer. Outfield straight up. Takes a strike. Well, I was talking about that schedule. We play after Sunday's game with Minnesota. We leave. Go to Toronto for 3. 25th, 6th, and 7th. 28th doubleheader in Baltimore. And 29th, 30th, 31st. 3-game set down in Houston. And the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th 3-game set at Arlington against the Rangers. So that's going to be a very, very tough trip. There's a line drive. So he picks up his 3rd hit. That is the first hit given up. Check that second hit given up by Scott Carroll. Give up the double to Murphy. Here's Ramirez. He's popped up to right, going out to center, and walked. Takes it high and wide.
It's the first time that Ramirez has turned around to hit from the left side. He is a much better hitter left-handed than right.
checks it up, and the count evens at 1. Just catches a little bit of that outside edge of the outside corner for a 1-2 count. Trying to stay out there. Foul back. Now to play over our dugout. Two and two, 1 on, nobody out. 5-8-1. Cleveland 0-5-1 for our Sox. And that's a base hit. So trouble brewing. First 2 men aboard.
Quite a series for Jose Ramirez. On base twice tonight. Came in hitting .500 in the series.
5 for 9. So here's Roberto Perez, the catcher. He's 0 for 1 with a couple of walks and a run scored. In close. Beckham at third. Rayu at first. There's the bunt. It's a good one. Sacrifice. 1-4.
Something you don't like to see, especially with slow running catchers, is a pitcher coming in and barehanding the ball. But sometimes you just don't get a real good grip on it. He floated it there right ahead of Perez, but the sacrifice accomplished.
Now our infield in. For Michael Bourne, who's 1 for 3. That was a bunt single. Funny looking bunt, but he got the job done. Takes first pitch strike. Count evens at 1. Kipnis on deck, and Bourne with a 2-1 count. off balance with that 83 mile an hour.
In
So
a big,
2-2.
Big situation in the 6th. Bases loaded, only one out. Scott got Bourne to pop up to left field.
Chops that one foul. Two, and it's full. All right, they're going to come to the plate very quickly.
There was a break there because that ball hit right off the mound, bounced right up to Alexi. And it was a contact play as Aviles was running regardless of where it was hit. It's off the mound, a good hop. Alexi gets to throw in plenty of time, and they cut down Aviles at the plate.
So 2 out. And here's Kipnis. He's 1 for 4 tonight. And that San Francisco 4-0 victory over the Dodgers. Hunter Pence making himself felt immediately. He's picked up RBIs number 3 and 4 already. 2 for 4 tonight. Two RBIs.
So the meeting on the mound is concluded.
So 2 down runners at the corners, and you have real good speed at first base, although he is only 2 for 5. Stolen bases. There he goes. Now make it 3 for 6.
That one conceded, but because they were holding him close, it is 3rd stolen base of the year. And now they're going to walk Kipnis and take their chances with Santana.
Well, I am personally glad to see Bourne steal the base. Kipnis is a tough guy. Hitting .327 as we speak. Santana over 3 tonight, came in hitting at .220. So here we go. Bases loaded once again. Santana's been pretty good with those sacks packed. 21 for 51.
Hit the ball awfully hard last time up. Hit a rocket right at Abreu at first base.
They've got a shift on for him as he takes it. 1-0 the count.
Pretty good speed on the base paths. In fact, it's hard to believe they can put a faster threesome on base together.
Good pitch, did not get it.
This one had a good piece of the plate. Did not get the call from Larry Vanover.
He's He's got a catbird seat with a 2-0 count. Big rip right there by Santana. He is upset with himself. He had the barrel on it, just underneath it. Ball was on the outside corner. So 2 out, 2-2 the count.
That's right off his foot, so that doesn't feel too good. That's why he's wearing that big protector, and he was fortunate to catch it right off the front of him.
Again to 2-2. He gone. Beautiful pitch right there, tailing back and catching the inside corner. He'll grab some bench, and we will go to the bottom of the 8th. We still trail it 5-0. All right, boys, let's give them a finish. It's the bottom of the 8th. 5-9-1 for Cleveland, 0-5-1 for our guys. It'll be Cabrera, Abreu, and LaRoche.
Pretty strong pitching by Scott Carroll, who got into and out of some pretty tough jams.
The only thing he's doing is coming off what he did in spring training.
And keeping the game exactly where he found it at 5-0.
He has been superb. A bullpen saver. That ball into center field. Another hang wolf for Cabrera. It's amazing. It's absolutely. Look at him.
Keeps hitting line drives, and all he can do is smile because there's nothing else you can do.
It is what it is. So here is Jose. He's 1 for 3. He's Ended his hitting streak to 16 games with that base hit in the first inning. Takes strike one. Breaking ball and the count 0-2. Out and around that breaking pitch. Start us off right here, Hose. Just underneath that one. Brantley's got it, and that's out number 2.
Follow the White Sox all season in 2015 with MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay previews, radio broadcasts, statcast, and more. Get MLB.com at Bat for your smartphone or tablet.
So Ryan Webb will depart. He works an inning and 2/3. Retired all 5. He departs, and we'll be back.
And Mark Zipchinski. He's 1-1 this year. His ERA 4.66, on for the 20th time. We've seen him in this series. He came out for a third of an inning and struck out. Connor Gillespie.
It has been a beautiful day here in the city. Beautiful evening for baseball in every respect except the score. 5-0 Cleveland. 2 out here in the bottom of the 8th. And here is Adam, 0 for 2 with the base on balls. They have the shift on. To the count. And we'll go to the ninth, trailing by 5.
White Sox take on the Minnesota Twins. Be sure to arrive early as we retire Paul Konerko's number 14 in a pregame ceremony. First 20,000 fans will receive a Paul Konerko replica statue presented by Xfinity. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. So purchase tickets by visiting whitesox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME. And it is standing room only.
And here is that statue. It is a nice keepsake right here. Paulie, as you can see,
a handsome statue.
It is. It's one of the better ones. The giveaways, but right here, it's the top of the 9th inning. Brantley, not Brantley and Rayburn, it's Brantley and Murph. High pop up left side, Gordon. So Hector Noesi on. Boy, what a nice job by Scott Carroll.
Carroll did a great job in 2 2/3. Held him right there. No runs, 3 hits. He walked 2, one of them intentionally, and struck out 1. Pitched out of a couple of jams, and Hector comes on for an inning. And it's trying to claw back at the Tribe bullpen.
And talking about Paul Konerko, obviously Saturday will be his day. They're retiring his number, but tickets are on sale right now for a season to remember, a night with a 2005 World Series champion Chicago White Sox. So that's very quickly now. 2 gone. The event is Sunday, July 19th at the Chicago Theater. The players scheduled to participate include Jermaine Dye, John Garland, Paul Konerko, Scott Pasadnik, Cliff Polite, and others. So that is Sunday, July 19th at the Chicago Theater. And that is where 14 is going, right there. So here's Swish. And ball into right field. Pulls up, takes it on the first hop. So Swish picks up his second hit. He's now 2 for 5 with a homer. And that'll bring up Aviles, who Swisher and Aviles went back-to-back in the first inning.
He's pointing to the lights. That ball wasn't high enough to get over the lights, and he got blinded by it. He just didn't see it. That's the reason why it dropped in front of him. Normally, he'll make that catch.
Also, for you that have tickets for Saturday's game, there are some standing room tickets available. The parking lots will open at 11 a.m. Gates will open at 1:10 p.m. And fans are encouraged to be in their seats by 2:25 p.m. That's for Saturday's retirement of number 14. Avila's 3 for 4. Got his average up to 313. Out of play right side. 1-2 the count.
Picker out of the bullpen is rushing it up there at 96 miles an hour.
Gordon. Oh, couldn't pick it at first. So that'll be a hit and an error, I would imagine.
Fourth hit for Aviles, and Gordon picks up an error. Tries to unload it quickly. Jose cannot come up with the hop. So runners at the corners.
First error of the year for Beckham. And here, the man's been swinging the magic one in this series, Jose Ramirez. 5 for 9. Takes first pitch strike. All right, we told you about Saturday. Now Sunday, the Sox will hold an exclusive autograph session. Tickets are just $25 and includes one ticket to that event and also one lower box ticket to the game. That autograph session starts at 10:15 a.m. That is Sunday. That's into left field. Melky is there, and that'll retire the side. So a nice inning for Hector. We go to the bottom of the ninth. We need a lot of lumber. Resort that's full of adventure, excitement, and magic. So to enter to win at csnchicago.com/universal now through Sunday. If you've never been there, it is something.
And there's a look at Brian Shaw, who comes on for the 21st time. He's 0-1, but his ERA 2.13. There for a while, his bullpen was having some problems. It is, however, a good, solid bullpen, anchored by Cody Allen, who has 8 saves. Even though he has a high ERA, you don't judge closers by the ERA. You judge him by how many saves and how many opportunities. And the setup men have been pretty good, especially Shaw, who's very durable. He came over in the same deal that Trevor Bauer came over from the Diamondbacks.
So here's Avi. Start us off right here, big guy, as he takes it just off the corner. That little piece of the outside edge. Shaw's been very good against us in the past. As the count evens at 1.
We're looking at a guy last year who appeared in 80 games. 2.59 ERA. And there's no shortage of work in a Terry Francona bullpen. If you're out there, you are going to be in there, and you're going to be in there a lot.
Well, you know, there's something. The man has had 10 straight winning seasons. I don't think Terry really cares about what people think about how long the games go.
No, if you're,
and I don't think if I were Terry, I would care about what people thought.
No, and if you're durable, you're certainly not going to rust away in a Francona pen.
That's into right. Murph is there. And that's out number 1. That'll bring up Alexei, who's 1 for 3.
The concessionaires love him. And the fans of the Tribe, who were starved for winning baseball, know they've got themselves a winner in Terry Francona. Well, now it's up to the front office, Chris Antonetti, to be able to
That's
get
a good
players.
tandem. That is a good tandem. Francona and Antonetti. Tomorrow night, make your plans to be with us. Jeff Samardzija on the bump against Phil Hughes. A couple of good ones right there. If you can't make it, that game will be over Comcast Sportsnet. On Saturday, Chris Sale on the bump as you look at Jeff. And he will be opposed by Trevor May. And on Sunday, in the final game of this homestand, Quintana against Kyle Gibson. Three and 1 to count. That's into center field. 2 down. So here's Beckham. Gordon has walked, reached on an arrow, and gone out to center. Trying to take 3 out of 4. We won the opener in one of the best ball games we've seen in a long time. Chris Sale. Corey Kluber. What a game. Missed that one. Sox won 2-1.
Barring a stirring comeback, this will be the first home series loss of the year. Gordon is just thinking about how far that outside corner might extend.
Well, that's a 5-0 2-out call.
There it is. We're looking for another slider in the same spot.
And there's a base hit. So Gordon now is going to make the turn, go into second. It's more of a mental mistake than.
That slider down, but it had the middle of the plate. And Gordon able to keep things alive.
And that'll bring up Tyler. Tyler looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 3. ball's hit well down the right field line, but foul. Close to being the right size, but the wrong shape.
Second home run of the year. RBIs 8 and 9. That one hugged the line all the way, was out by a long way. He almost hit one out to right field, and that hanging slider down the line is a Ford home run replay. Tyler knows he got plenty of it, and it stays fair and way back there.
Not many guys can hit them further than Tyler Flowers. As here is Wachow.
Oh, that one rifled back in the seats. Fortunately, the crowd has thinned out somewhat. The crowd that was 18,321 on a beautiful night for baseball.
The 0-1 pitch.
Well, the bullpen is up and going now. Things a little less secure for the Indians and Terry Francona.
Oh, I'm so happy for that. I hate to get shut out. Slider. And the count 1-2.
McAllister and Hagedorn loosening up in the pen. We've seen McAllister a lot in this series. Haven't seen Hagedorn in this series. If you haven't seen him, there he is.
That's high. .436 feet estimated distance. And that's in the right field. When that ball comes down, this game will be over. So the Indians take the last three. We win the opener 2-1. They win 3-1, 4-3, and 5-2. So Johnny Danks started off rough and then settled in.
And unfortunately, he ran up against Danny Salazar, who was excellent tonight with 8 strikeouts in 6 innings. And then the bullpen made it hold up. Sox had their opportunities. Left a few men on base, especially early in the game. 2 in the first, 3 in the third, and outside of that,